Let's come to industries and manufacturing, which is a third of the carbon dioxide emissions. And if we've got a net zero emissions target for 2070, it makes sense to approach this like an accountant. So when it comes to industries and manufacturing, and, you know, it begs to be underlined in the private domain, not, you know, in the government domain, what's the strategy, what's the policy framework, and what do we need to watch out for?
Well, you know, the technology for industry kind of varies depending on which industry you have in mind. I mean, for example, where an industry is using coal for heating purposes, it could just switch to electricity, an electric arc furnace, etc. It's much more expensive, but it can be done. Sometimes it's using, for example, steel is using coke, which is not just for heating purposes, it's partly a chemical kind of thing. There, hydrogen can be used to achieve the same objective. That hydrogen is going to be good for emissions if it's green hydrogen. So you hear a lot about green hydrogen. And green hydrogen is essentially, you're using electrolysis to split up water into oxygen and hydrogen. And the electrolysis, the electricity that goes into that is green electricity, not coal-fired electricity. Because obviously, if you're using coal-based electricity, you're
it defeats the purpose.
Not having much of an impact on emissions. So green hydrogen is very important, and that's why many of our major companies have announced that they have programs to produce green hydrogen. It's actually quite expensive right now, maybe a little more than $5 per kg, and targets have been mentioned that we really want to bring it out to $1 per kg. Now, how do you do that? That depends on the technology of electrolysis, the cost of electrolyzers, and all kinds of other things. Okay, that's one lot. I mean, certainly in places like aluminium, where you need heat, the electric arc furnace is doing its bit. So, depending on the industry, in the case and petroleum, because petroleum refining, for example, uses hydrogen all the time. But the point is, at the moment, if it's using hydrogen which is fossil fuel based, that's not helping.
Yeah.
So you bring in green hydrogen to take care of that problem.